Hello, YouTube. This is Alzoru, and welcome to Scary Stories from Nafine. In this series, I will be telling scary stories from my fictional world of Nafine. Though whether these stories are or aren't true in universe is up to your interpretation. I will explain anything I need to explain in each episode's beginning, and then tell each story from the perspective of whomever experienced it. This series was inspired by Lazy Masquerade, my favorite horror YouTuber, and his Scary Stories series, as well as his Unsolved Mysteries and such. So there may also be cryptic unsolved mysteries here as well. Now, I apologize in advance if these stories aren't that good. Horror isn't really my genre. I'm more inclined to comedy, action-adventure, and a bit of occasional romance. If you want more, though, please do tell me in the comment section below. This is experimental, to say the least. All that out of the way, here's your context for this episode. The Nofuku Archipelago is a chain of islands near the big continent that are roughly analogous to Polynesia, more specifically Hawaii. A Wairana is a sea serpent dragon folk, which usually come in blue, green, or silver. But in these islands, they often sport colors like reef fish. An Orlorian is a squid person, and they're well known for being silly. It's also difficult to tell a male from a female at a glance. Now, on with the story. This story happened on the big island of Kiriho when I was only 8. I'm a Wairana, or Kermul as we more often call ourselves. I'm yellow-scaled with a few white stripes. At the time, I lived with my mom and stepfather. My birth father had been in jail for tax fraud for a few years by now, and I was used to him not being around, but that's neither here nor there. I'm a female, and I had several friends that I attended classes with. We were learning how to clean fish that day, an important task indeed. I was picking it up pretty slowly, mostly because of the fish's dead eyes. They freaked me out a bit. After class, 4 of us snuck off to play at the beach, and we slapped each other with bits of seaweed. A harmless bit of fun, really. It was at this time that an Orlorian woman, or at least I think it was a woman, appeared from out of the water and asked if she could play with us. She wore a red bathing suit, and she had green eyes and had her beak painted jade green. Now, we had been taught stranger danger, of course, but we also knew that Orlorians were known for being funny and silly, so we asked her to tell us some jokes. She obliged and told us a joke about crabs and clams that I don't really remember, but I think the punchline was that both of them were snappy. Satisfied, we let her play with us until it was time to go home. She offered to take one of my friends home so she'd get there safely, and since she'd made fast friends with us, we agreed. After another dumb joke about coral, we left her alone with Kahuma, one of our friends, and left. We never saw Kahuma alive again. She was spotted by a few witnesses being taken by the woman in a different direction, away from her house, and she was last reported at a diner with this woman, who, witnesses say, kept the girl calm with more bad jokes and promised her she'd be home soon. She lied. The girl went missing, and for 2 weeks, nobody could find her. She was eventually found by accident in the jungle by a hunter, her body stabbed multiple times and sliced apart. Nearby were the bodies of 6 other missing children, also similarly stabbed. We all gave the investigators a good description of the Orlorian woman who had taken her. We all felt stupid for leaving her alone with that stranger. I'm 25 now, and the Orlorian woman still hasn't been found to this day. I became a private investigator, and I've made it my life's mission to find her and bring her to justice if it's the last thing I do.